The Sky Conference continues its story here at the Hutton Sports Center with a matchup between the Chapman Panthers and the Claremont Mudscripts. A new chapter broadcasted this afternoon by the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network. My name is Isabella Sevilla, your play-by-play commentator, alongside Grace Luttrell, our color commentator for this afternoon's game. Tonight we've got a great matchup with only one team making the SCIAC tournament and the other sadly at the end of its journey. We have so much for tonight, and Grace, can you tell us a little bit of a recap from this past season?
Definitely. Both teams have had a great season. Obviously, CMS is looking at their final game tonight after not making the cut for conference championships, but Chapman, standing third in SCIACs, has had a great season. They have showed their dominance on the court and is currently striving to enhance their standing with a win over CMS. This could boost their chances for, solidifying their position in the SCIAC conference and making sure that they have that third seed for their conference championship. CMS is standing 8th in SCIAC and is currently 5-9 in conference play. They had a great season with some great wins, and they're striving to enhance their standing possibly. A win over Chapman could boost their chances of enhancing that standing. They're especially close in competition with teams like Caltech that share similar conference records.
And when we're talking about teams from this season, both teams tonight have brought their A game. We're going to see the last matchup previously, CMS versus Chapman, a win for the Panthers, 76-67. And tonight, when we're looking at their comparison stats, we're going to see about a 9-point difference in their points per game. Definite competition here for you folks tonight. And rebounds are also going to be very important in tonight's game. Both teams with really great forwards. And to talk more about some of those forwards we're going to see tonight, let's start off with the Panthers. Number 12, Shayna Brown for the Chapman University Panthers. Powerhouse forward for them as well, averaging almost 17 points per game. She's someone that the Mudscripts have to look forward to because she's going to be on her A game. The Panthers did just come from a loss, so we're going to be seeing a lot of leadership from her tonight and more leadership in those rebounds as well, almost hitting that 7 mark. Super important leader in defensive rebounds and also averaging 41% in field goals. And if we're looking at the other side as someone who was a key shooter for the CMS Mudscripts, let's talk about number 2, Renee Chong, someone that the Mudscripts value very much when it comes to shooting. She's bringing her A game tonight, and we saw a lot of her in that last game as well against Cal Lutheran. She averages about 14, nearly 15 points per game. Not so much in the rebounds because she is one of those guards for the Mudscripts, but carrying the team with a 38% field goal percentage is something key to look forward for.
Definitely. And looking back at Chapman's side, Layla Woods, number 25, a forward. You can't talk about Shannon Brown without talking about Layla Woods. Her dominance on the court last week against Redland Bulldogs showed that she is a key player for Chapman Panthers. Her signature elbow jump shot was a key play that helped the Panthers stay head-to-head with the Bulldogs, who ultimately did win that matchup with a score of 69-68. But Woods' average points per game, 14.3, and average rebound of 7.9, shows her dominance on the court, and she will definitely be a key player tonight against CMS. And looking back at CMS with Katie Resendez, who was named last week's SCIAC Offensive Athlete of the Week after averaging 17.5 points and 8.5 rebounds, with her 18 points and 10 rebounds in a win over Pullman-Pitzer, and 17 points during a win over Oxnard, shows that she is a key player to have in this game against Chapman, and they will definitely be relying on her to keep that ball moving and keep it going today in Hutton.
And Katie Resendez is one of those players that I've seen playing for a couple of years now, and I say she's one of my favorite forwards in the SCIAC Conference. Always dominating in that key. It's going to be a good matchup between Shayna Brown and Katie Resendez. And to talk more about tonight's game, let's toss it down to our sideline reporter, Kaimana Newman.
It's on. Sorry. Today's game is a game of pride, and for Claremont, of course, they didn't make the cut for the SCIAC playoffs, but wanting to end their season on a high with a win on today's game. And for the Chapman Panthers, I had a chance to speak with sophomore Miley Nakaji, who's been an essential playmaker for the Panthers, and she talked about their 2 recent losses, and how today's game there's going to be a big emphasis on defense because of that, as well as an emphasis on ball movement to conserve energy when necessary in the case that this game goes into overtime, as it has in a couple of their other games throughout the season. And a win for the Panthers today would be a great way to get their momentum started going into the SCIAC tournament. So I'm excited to see how things will turn out as this game gets underway very, very soon. Sending it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Kaimana, for that insight. And you know, tonight's game is going to be a really great one. So much tension. And you know what? Let's leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. We'll come back to you guys right after this break. Thank you guys so much for joining us again here at the Hutton Sports Center live with the CSBN broadcast. We're going to go ahead and toss it down to the court for starting lineups, as well as I mentioned to some of our seniors and graduating managers tonight. We have 2 Chapman Panthers seniors graduating tonight, starting off with Devin Higashigawa, a great leader for the Panthers, always helping out our director, Stephen Olveda, and Grace personally knows the second one as well.
Yes, Drago Jukic, who's a senior graduating early as a business major. I've been friends with him since freshman year, and it's bittersweet to see him leave, but he's been able to have a great season with the Chapman Panthers and has been able to enjoy helping on and off the court.
And you know, tonight, as you can see right now, Coach Carol Ju for the Panthers handing out some bouquet of flowers because the Panthers do have a young team. We don't have any graduating seniors on the court, but the CMS players actually have 5 players, and they did celebrate their senior night that last game against Cal Lutheran. Some that we will be recognizing tonight: number 15, Ruva Kira, forward; number 3, Kayla Ishibashi; and number 4, Ava Gray, as alongside number 34, Grace Florendo, and a student manager, Sydney Smith the 4th. Generational name. You don't see a lot of that often. But tonight, we are also going to be seeing Carol Ju recognize those managers that we have mentioned as well. Up here, you're going to see Devin Higashigawa presented with a basket and flowers and a mailile, courtesy of Carol Ju and the Chapman Panthers. We're also going to see Devin Higashigawa alongside of his parents as well. Very beautiful moment. And, you know, we were talking a lot about pride in the game and pressure, but, you know, there's love in the stands. Look at the floor. We got a whole bunch of people showing up for our dear Panthers and fellow seniors from the CMS side.
And Drago, who's making his way with a large group of some girls from the women's basketball team. Drago is now with Carol Ju, who is giving him a beautiful lei, and he has been on the team for about 2 years now and has been an essential part of the women's basketball team. And it's super special just to see his bond with the team and be able to see how much support not only the team has for him, but the support that he also holds for the team as well. And it's super great to see this kind of ceremony before the game starts, especially being able to see just how much the team values family and how much the team also values their opponent's family as well. Just being able to see how we are able to come together, especially as the last game of the season, and being able to recognize how special this game is for a lot of people today in Hutton today.
A very special night for a lot of special people. And you know what? We're going to take a little bit of a short break as they take their pictures. We're going to let them fill this moment out, and then we're going to go straight to the national anthem.
Pride fans now, we ask you please rise if you're able and move your caps as we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem.
Everyone to CSBN's broadcast tonight here at the Hutton Sports Center, a matchup between the Chapman Panthers and the Claremont Mudscripts. We're going to go ahead and start up with the starting lineup. Tonight, we've got some great energy here in the court, and first starter for tonight's game from the Mudscripts is going to be number 3, Kayla Ishibashi. And next up, we're going to see Kira Watanabe, freshman with a great story this season. A very good guard when it comes to points, scored 28 that last game. Up next for Claremont, we've got number 4, Ava Gray, senior guard, also acknowledged tonight in our senior night. And then from the Chapman side, number 14, Aiden Sherfree. We didn't hear much about her, but we're going to hear a lot from her starting in this first quarter. Again, from Claremont Mudscripts, number 5, Tanya Guy, a sophomore guard. And then also Trinity Barreto, number 80 from the Chapman Panthers. Number 20, my apologies. And then last but not least, number 15, CMS player, Ruva Kiara, a senior forward, someone that is going to be in the key with Shayna Brown. Last but not least, number 21, Kaylee Kahala, freshman forward, that's a junior for the Panthers. And then also we've got number 32, Katie Resendez, someone we'd mentioned as one of our key players for tonight's game. And last but not least, one of our top 2 forwards for the Chapman Panthers, Layla Wood, someone that is going to be a very, very crucial player in tonight's game. Keeping that momentum going into the SCIAC tournament. Will they get a win tonight from a 2-loss? Who knows? But Grace, tell us how you feel about the game so far, seeing these lineups.
I'm super excited. These lineups are amazing. The matchups against players will be super interesting to see. I'm really excited to see how the tempo is controlled on the court. Chapman's Carol Jew, our head coach, will probably look to speed up the game, forcing CMS to play at a faster pace than they're used to. But on the other hand, CMS will probably emphasize slowing down possessions and executing in the half court, keeping Chapman out of transition. It'll be interesting to see how these two coaches go head-to-head in technique and seeing who controls the pace on the court as well, which will be super interesting to see who will be key in keeping that tempo and dictate the pace on the backcourt. Will it be Shanna Brown or River Kiara?
And you know, looking at the court right now for the tip-off, we're seeing number 25, Layla Woods from the Chapman Panthers, and also number 15, Ruva Kiara. Great tip-off going, and Aiden Sherfree with the ball. Panthers do get first possession of this game. Trinity Barreto heading it off at the top. We're also going to see Kira Watanabe with some movement, a couple of passes back and forth. Kaylee Kahala. And there's Layla Woods with that shot that she is just so golden in, right off the shoulder. 2 points for the Panthers starting off within the first 45 seconds. Great game so far. A lot of tension on the court, a lot of defense. There's number 4, Ava Gray at the top. And now we're going to see the ball go back to the Panthers' hands with the jump. Grace, so far with the first 45 seconds of the game, how are you noticing the pressure, the energy, and everything that's coming from both sides?
I mean, we're definitely seeing a lot of pressure from Chapman's defensive side. We knew that was going to be something that Carol Drew was going to put on in this court. I think that we've seen just how crucial Layla Woods is to the team. Scoring that 2 points in the first few seconds of the game really shows her dominance on the court. And it really shows how fast-paced this game is and how the pace has already been established by the Panthers.
And that was just a missed shot from Aiden Sherfree that was open in that lane, assisted by Kira Watanabe. Ball's back in the Mudscripts' hands. We're seeing a lot of momentum and movement. We're seeing all around. Another shot, a 3 attempt from number 3 of CMS, Kayla Ishibashi. Ball's back in the Panthers' hands after a rebound. Here's Aiden Sherfree with the ball. Hand off to Barreto, going up for a layup, and a missed attempt. Nearly there with a quick little touch of the hand from number 4, Ava Gray. We're seeing a matchup between Kira Watanabe and Ava Gray, a freshman and a senior. More effort coming from number 2, Katie Resendez, looking for an inside handoff to Kiara. And a 3 attempt from number 4, Ava Gray. Back into the hands of Kaylee Kahala, taking it down by Trinity Barreto with a pass to Woods. Another shot, 2 for 2, Layla Woods. We're seeing the score 4-0. Chapman. A lot of looks in that middle spot of the key tonight. You know, when it comes to this team, we're going to see more height, more bodies in the key because Chapman has more of a size difference compared to CMS. Here's Kiara with an attempt. Little bit of a tussle. Again, bringing it back up to Guy. Quick look, but a little bit of a touch from Woods. Taking it down is Kira Watanabe to Kahala for a shot. And that's another 2 points on the board for Chapman, 6-0. Here's Kiara taking the ball down. We're seeing a lot of talkative energy from the Panthers, and there we go, number 32, Resendez, one of our key players for tonight's game, coming in clutch, bringing the score a bit closer. First 2 points on the board for the Mudscripts. And here's Sherfree on the 3, taking a look, handing it back off to Watanabe. Back to Woods. And that's that matchup we were looking for between Woods and Resendez. And just a little bit short from Woods at the basket with a long pass and interference from Layla Woods. You know, it's good to have that hand in the passing lane. That's what is going to be crucial in tonight's game. We're going to see a lot of ball movement between players on the CMS side. So that's one thing that the Chapman Panthers talk about, especially from Miley Nakaji. Defense is what's going to get them there. And, you know, that's how we're getting most of those possessions.
Yes, and Chapman is definitely looking at that offense of getting the ball to move through the court and conditioning play and making sure they're capitalizing on their athleticism.
There we go with a fake from number 1. That's Amanda Kerner that had just subbed in alongside number 34, Grace Florendo. We're also going to see Shayna Brown on the floor as well as Aiden Sherfree. And Miley Nakaji. Ball was then tipped out of bounds, now in CMS hands. And a missed shot attempt from number 3 of CMS, Kayla Ishibashi. Now bringing it down from Kira Watanabe. A little bit of on the floor action. Now taking it down to CMS's 34, Florendo. The matchup against Shayna Brown, bringing it back up. And an attempt from CMS, Amanda Kerner. We're going to get a foul on the floor onto Kira Watanabe, number 11 for the Panthers. And here's that quick replay. You can see a little bit of Kira Watanabe's hand a little bit too early onto the upper part of the body right there. So we're going to see 2 shots from number 1, Amanda Kerner. With a missed attempt. And you know, Amanda Kerner is actually one of the top 2 free throw shooters for the CMS Mud Scripts, averaging almost 74%, just in that second position spot with a rebound. Now coming from Shayna Brown, we're seeing a lot of long passes on the court. Back to Barreto. Looking for that momentum. And an attempt from Shayna Brown. A lot of movement and confusion on the court, trying to get an open spot. CMS is really close on defense, applying that pressure, and there goes the shot clock. Panthers lose possession of the ball. Now it's going to the CMS Mud Scripts. Grace, any observations so far?
I mean, we can definitely see that the Mud Scripts are definitely trying to play Chapman onto the shot clock and making sure that they're making sure that they counter with disciplined, patient offense and trying to force Chapman into defending deep and making sure that Chapman runs on that shot clock, because at the end of the day, that is what they're going to be relying on, especially with Layla Wood's consistency on throwing those 2-pointers.
That's right, and you know, right now we are seeing that double trouble duo on the court, Shanna Brown and Layla Woods. It is making the court feel that pressure. You're seeing a lot of defensive action and motivation from the CMS Mud Scripts. Definitely one of those matchups that they should be really keeping an eye out for tonight. We've already have the score at 6-2 with Chapman in the lead. Most of the points coming from Layla Woods and 2 points from Katie Resendez, one of our key players for tonight. And you know, Grace, going into the last 4 minutes, what should the Panthers be doing in order to keep that score difference from maintaining?
Definitely making sure that speed of the game and the pace is set at a faster pace than CMS is used to. That will definitely help them with keeping the defensive lead and making sure that they stay aggressive, but also making sure that they're working on their technique and making sure they're getting those big shots. Just because if you want to keep that lead, you want to make sure that you are capitalizing off those types of shots and not just relying on the smaller plays.
Now inbounding the ball is Florendo from the Mud Scripts, one of our guards. We're seeing a quicker pace on the court as well. A lot of action, quick movements. And here's that defensive help that we were talking about earlier that Miley Nakaji was looking for. And an attempt from Florendo goes in. That's another 2 points on the board for the Mud Scripts. Here's Watanabe with an attempt. Not too much. Here's Florendo with another shot attempt. Not quite making it, hitting it right off the rim. And here's Barreto bringing the ball down. Guarded again by number 5, Tanya Guy. A sophomore guard, and an attempt from Shanna Brown goes in. Additional 2 points for the Panthers. Most points coming from both of our forwards tonight. So it says a lot about how our momentum is looking. You know, with a height difference, we're going to see a lot coming from our forwards. Most points maybe coming from them because of that height difference that CMS just seems to lack, but makes up for with their guards, especially one including Katie Resendez and Kayla Ishibashi. And here's a turnover recovered by Barreto with an open lane shot. Not quite making it, Layla Woods. But that's okay, because we're about to get 2 more shots on the line from Layla Woods, who averages a pretty high percentage on the free throw line. And you know, the Panthers do very well on that. One of the top free throw scorers in the SCIAC conference, Layla Woods at a 75%. She's someone that you want to keep off the line at all times, trying not to foul.
Yeah, definitely. And she's definitely showed her resilience on the court today, making those recoveries and getting those turnovers.
Another shot from Woods, and that's an additional 2 points, making the score 4-10. Right now, we have 2 fouls from both sides of the court, and a matter of who's going to be on the line is what's going to be key tonight. We got to watch out for those fouls, especially because it's 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's Ishibashi with the ball, passing it down to Kiara with good defense initiative from Shanna Brown. And another turnover with an attempt from Kiara, and that's 2 points on the board. Kiara's first point and basket for the night. Ooh, with a little tip off the fingers, we got number 5 with that little tip off against Trinity Barreto. A shot attempt. Making it in is number 3, Kayla Ishibashi. And right there, we're going to see a timeout called on the sidelines. Now, Grace, we're seeing 10-8. We got 2 fouls from both teams, and Layla Woods on that free throw line with 1 minute left and a timeout now called. Are we going to be seeing this pattern kind of throughout the game, you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have the home advantage at Chapman right now, and I think CMS is definitely feeling that pressure, but I also think that the pressure of this being their last game is riding on that pressure of home game, and I think that's really helping them stay driven. But we're also seeing the pace kind of slow down at this end of the first quarter. I think seeing the pace has been super fast and super good, and the ball has been being kept in movement, but we're starting to see it kind of slow down. We're seeing CMS kind of slow down, take more time, trying to figure out how to get past Chapman's defense.
That's right. Defense is what is going to be playing. And now on the court, we're going to see a bit of a substitution. Number 21, Georgiana Dempsey, sophomore forward, who brings more of that height on the floor. And it seems like CMS wants to put her up against Shayna Brown, putting pressure, applied pressure to our forwards. Woods with an attempt, but now called for a foul.
Yes, and Georgiana Dempsey is known for providing energy in limited minutes, so it's not surprising that she just got subbed in, and hopefully we'll see that the energy by CMS gets picked up a little bit more in this last few minutes.
A nice shot from Woods. Four for 4 so far. 12-8, Layla Woods scoring 4 points off the free throw line and 2 from the key. Ball is now in the possession of CMS with only about a minute and a half left in this quarter. We're seeing a long pass to Kiara, an attempt, not quite making it. And then now back into the hands of number 1, Amanda Kerner, with that matchup against Shayna Brown. Shayna Brown's that player that's very good on defense. You know, she's a powerhouse as a forward, but also defense. She's one of those people you gotta look out for. Very quick on her feet. And that is a shot made by number 5, Tanya Guy. Score is now brought up to 12-10. Nice look in the key, and that is a foul called right here. We're about to see Shayna Brown on the line. And that is a foul on number 15, Ruva Kiara. Shayna Brown, also one of those players that is pretty dangerous on the free throw line. And she's actually with a very phenomenal percentage right now. She is the leader for the Chapman Panthers at a 91, almost 92% on the line. That's 1 point on the floor. And with nearly a minute left, we're about to see a lot of initiation, a lot of little mistakes, I don't want to say, but you might be seeing that just to fill out the momentum from the CMS mud scripts.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing applied pressure as well, pressing from Kira Watanabe. Lots of momentum. We're seeing a lot of screens and cuts from the CMS players as well. Trying to open up a pocket for someone. Here's Ishibashi with a little bit of a hand in that passing lane that we talked about. There's Layla Woods, and now with the ball back into the Panthers' hands, we're gonna get a foul on number 5 from CMS, Tanya Guy. This puts Chapman in the bonus for tonight's game, and right here you can see a little bit of a tussle Ooh, number 21 falling right on top of Woods. That again is a little bit of Georgiana Dempsey that we saw. You know, she's one of those players that are very active, very physical. And it just so happens that she put Layla Woods on the line again, so that's another 5 points from the free throw line.
Layla Woods is very consistent, and it's super amazing to be able to see that on the court today.
Ooh. Shot off the board, and there we go for a jump ball. Ball is going to go down the court to CMS. With only 35 seconds left, the Mudscripts do have an opportunity to make a few plays tonight, hopefully getting the score up from a 15-10 first quarter score. We're seeing a press going on right now with the matchup. Here's Watanabe holding off that ball on Ishibashi, pressuring her to get stuck in a corner. And there we go, two-man defense, getting Ishibashi out of bounds, and ball going back into the Panthers' hands. That's one thing about Carol Ju. She loves her press plays. She loves making sure that those players on offense are getting pushed into the corners, so then we get a little bit of a trap going on. Definitely. That's something that the defensive side of Chapman Panthers does very well at executing.
Especially Watanabe, who's known as the floor general on the court, making sure to pressure the opposing team and making sure they don't get those shots.
And within the last 6 seconds, we're seeing Watanabe with an attempt. Here's Shayna Brown with a shot, not quite making it. And ball out of bounds. Just so happens that the buzzer goes off. That is the first quarter, ladies and folks. 15-10, Grace. Phenomenal score, great defense going on. How do you feel?
I mean, we've seen an incredible first quarter. I'm super excited to see what the next quarter brings. I'm hoping that the pace will continue on. But for now, we're going to toss the ad, and we'll see you back in a bit after this quick break.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second quarter of tonight's matchup. The Cal Mudscript Lady Athenas, as we were just corrected earlier, against the Chapman Panthers. Tonight's score is 10-15 so far. A lot of tension, a lot of pressure, and also some shot attempts at the three-point line from Shayna Brown, something that we love to see out here, one of our key players for tonight. And ball is now in the possession, back into the Lady Athenas. Lots of great movement, and in for the second quarter, we're going to see from the CMS side, Kayla Ishibashi, Tanya Guy, Ava Gray, Kate Shingler, someone that we didn't see in that first quarter, and last but not least, Katie Resendez. For the Chapman Panthers, we're also going to see Kira Watanabe, Shayna Brown, Ada Sherfree, Kaylee Kahala, and Trinity Barreto. Ball's now staying on the CMS side, inbounded to Guy, and a shot, 2 points, now 15-12. Here's Sherfree in the key, matched up. A little bit of attempt, rebounded by 12. Kate Shingler. Here's Resendez at the top, matched up with Sherfree. Barreto. And 2 points in a layup for Tanya Guy, making the score 15-14, 1 point difference. Only 2 minutes into the second quarter, and another shot. Katie Resendez, back to back. This is the first lead of the game for the CMS Athenas tonight. Great initiative, and you know, a little bit of a miscommunication from the Panthers right there.
Definitely. Taylor Guy is definitely a key player for CMS, especially when there's a tight score, making sure that they get that lead up. And she's done it once before in a game against Pomona. Her rally with three-pointer helped them maintain a lead.
Carol Drew's testing out the players on the court right now, trying to figure out who these matchups are, who goes bets against who. And there's Resendez again for an attempt, not quite making it, but then rebounded by Sherfree. And there's a foul on the floor for number 12. That is going to be Kate Shingler. And I believe that's going to be the second foul for her. First foul of the night, my apologies. And first foul of the second quarter. Substitutions right now for the Panthers. We're going to see number 24, Gemma Lackham, as well as 23, Miley Nakaji. And here's Layla Woods and Shayna Brown, that double trouble duo we were talking about. Here's Nakaji up for a shot. And in, additional 2 points for the Panthers, 17-16. A little bit of a score going back and forth. And here's Kate Shingler bringing up the ball back into the hands of Ava Gray. That matchup against Watanabe. One of those players that's very quick on defense, someone you don't want to be up against when you are handling the ball. And here's Woods and Resendez in the key. Shot attempt from Ishibashi. Not quite making it, but rebounded by Nakaji. There we go with that hand in the lane again. And here is Guy with a layup for the CMS Athenas, 17-18. Shannon Brown on the top, looking for Woods. Not quite making that shot, but then rebounded and brought back up. We're going to see the ball on the floor. Should be staying in the hands of the Panthers. And that is the second personal foul for Kate Shingler from the Athenas. Ball is going to stay in the hands of the Panthers with substitutions as well. We're going to see Kaylee Kahala back on the floor. And here's that replay again. A little bit of a tussle with Shayna Brown. Bringing it back up. And then right there, you can see the hands of Kate Shingler. Shoulder just brushing right off of her. Back on the floor. Ball is now in the hands of CMS. Taking it down. There's a shot going over to Dempsey with an attempt. Almost rebounded by Brown, but then recovered by Dempsey. Here's number 1, Amanda Kerner going in for that layup and making it in. The score's going back and forth between the Panthers and the Athenas right now, 17-20. It's a little bit of a balance. CMS is finally getting their momentum going. Here's Shayna Brown, additional 2 points added, making this game a very close one, 19-20. That's Shayna Brown's 4th point for tonight's game. A nice open pass to number 10, Siona Madiam, someone we haven't seen start play in the game tonight. Nice long pass, Shayna Brown, 6 point for tonight, scores 21-20. And you know what? Those long passes and those assists are just frankly so beautiful. They're getting ahead of CMS when they're on that possession, making sure they have that open shot because it's a little bit of a difficulty in the key when they have possession. Everyone is on 5-on-5, but when we get a little bit of mismatch, there's when the points come on the board, and now ball is brought out of bounds, staying on the CMS side. We've also got a timeout on the floor, a few substitutions. We're gonna see some players subbing in. We're gonna have Florendo coming in right now, but Grace, the score's going back and forth, 21-20. We've got 2 fouls on the floor, both coming from Kate Shingler, a forward, sophomore, very young blood. And she's definitely feeling that pressure tonight. Both teams really showing up and showing out. And right here you can see where that ball goes out of bounds, putting the ball into the hands of CMS still. But Grace, tell us, what's going on? What should we be looking out for?
I mean, the presence of CMS on this court is incredible. I think just the pressure of having this being their last game is really making them show out and show today that they are a force to be reckoned with. I think Tanya Guy, has really shown that she has a dominant force on this court, and she can be a key player when needed. And I'm excited to see her continue to step up and get those 2-pointers and continue to keep CMS at the edge of taking the lead from Chapman. And I think Chapman is definitely feeling the pressure. They're definitely starting to get more into the rhythm and understanding how CMS plays and how to kind of go against their offense or their defense.
Definitely. And speaking about edges, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. The score is going back and forth. I'm feeling the pressure. I don't know how this game is going to go. We got 4 minutes left in the first half. 2 fouls on the board for CMS. And here we go. Ball's back in possession for the Athenas. And we're seeing the same few people on the floor for the Panthers. And then we have that substitution by Florendo for the Athenas as well. Here's Kira Watanabe with those handles that we were talking about. She's one of those freshmen that has really had a great story this season. And there she is back on the key, driving for that layup. 2 points, 23-20. And I believe that's Kira Watanabe's first points of the afternoon. She is a force that once she gets into that momentum, there is no way of stopping her. She's a freshman that definitely has proven her spot.
Yes, and being able to watch Watanabe play this season, being a freshman, it's exciting to be able to know that she's here for another 3 years, and exciting to see her be able to continue her dominance on this court for Chapman, and being able to see her continue to evolve as an athlete.
And right there, we're seeing Grace Florendo on the free throw line. A missed attempt, but that foul was called on number 24, Jenna Lacka. Guard freshman from the Panthers. We didn't really see much of her, but we're seeing that she's making her way into the games. And Carol is just incorporating her, trying to get her more familiar with the chemistry of the team, game speed and everything. And right here is Jenna Lacka with the ball back into Woods. And here's Nakaji at the top. Quick passes, quick momentum, little bit of a pause though. We want to make sure that our forwards are getting set up. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Nakaji, and that is 2 points in with a foul also called on the floor. Nakaji's going to be on the line right now. Foul is going to be on called number 3, Kayla Ishibashi. And here's that one shot from Miley right now with an 80% free throw average. Once the ball is in the air, everyone will be attacking, and that's that kind of pressure we're looking for. Lovely shot, nothing but net. And here's that fire defense from Kira Watanabe. Applied pressure, quick momentum, and a nice block from Woods. A lot of defensive motivation from the Panthers right now. We just saw Sherfree and Kaylee Kahala in the help right there. And that is shot clock, putting the ball back into the Panthers' hands and keeping that momentum going. Defense is what wins games. That's what I was told. That's what I was taught. And that is the only way that we should be playing. Defense is what wins.
I mean, you can definitely tell that Chapman is putting their defensive team on it, and they're making sure that they are putting pressure on CMS to keep them from scoring. And it's really incredible just to see how much pressure they're putting on CMS.
Interestingly, we do have the score 26-20. Nice 2 points from Layla Woods right there. That's her signature move. A little push off the shoulder, off the elbow, and straight up to the basket. It's that mid-range shot that's her sweet spot, and that's something that the CMS Athenas need to look out for especially. 28-20, less than 2.5 minutes left in this first half. Right now, interestingly, CMS actually is 10-23 for field goals, 10-24 Chapman. And here we go, another turnover in the hands of Watanabe. And great offensive initiative from Layla Woods, putting her back on the line. Someone that you want to be scared of for free throws. You don't want to foul her. You want to keep her off that line because she is what is racking up the points for the Panthers.
And that consistency on the court is something that makes her a key player for this game.
Definitely, and right now, a few substitutions right when that foul was called. We got Katie Resendez back on the floor, and a little bit of a missed shot from Woods. Aiden Sherfree also subbing in as well. Less than 2.5 minutes left in this first half. Great shot from Woods, making that her 12th point for tonight's game. Barreto subbing in for Watanabe. This is a different lineup than what we've seen earlier in the day. We're not seeing Shanna Brown in with that chemistry that we call the double trouble with Layla Woods. Right now we got Aiden Sherfree on the floor, Trinity Barreto, Kaylee Kahala, and Miley Nakaji. Great ball movement from the Athenas. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Pressure is definitely being felt. Defensive strategy is all over. Here's Resendez. And a nice shot from number 3. CMS, that is going to be Kayla Ishibashi. Right on time for shot clock to go off. Now we're going to take a little bit of a pause because the whistle and the buzzer was just blown. A little bit of a mix-up. It seems as though we're trying to see if that shot was put up right before the shot clock went up. Now, Grace, we got almost a minute and a half left in the second half, 29-22. CMS is almost putting Chapman in the bonus right now.
Definitely.
Thoughts?
I think just being able to see the defense on Chapman's side and seeing how they are pressuring CMS, but also seeing Layla Woods take those shots and make it, is really putting them in the lead. And I think also just making sure that they stay in that lead and solidify their higher lead right now is important. But CMS could come back. They could, you know, kind of get that flow and getting into the pace more so. And I think after the half, I think we'll see that CMS kind of comes back more prepared and more understanding of how this game is being played by Chapman and by Jerry.
And that's another 2 points on the board. Scores 31-22, Chapman in the lead. We're seeing a lot of talk on the court. The stands are filling up. You can feel the energy going on the court, outside of the court. Everyone is ecstatic to be here. Here's a little bit of a pause from Florendo. Katie Resendez back up, 2 additional points. Score is being brought up, about a 7-point difference. Only 45 seconds left in the second half. And there's that long pause we've been talking about this game. Layla Woods with her signature shot, not quite making it. All right, almost a little bit of a jump ball right there. The ball is back in the hands of CMS. Only about 20 seconds left in the game. A little bit of pause, trying to get the momentum going. Shot clock is also not their friend right now. 5 seconds left. There's Guy up with an attempt. Not quite making it, but a foul is drawn on the floor. Ball is going to go back to the hands of the Panthers. We're seeing a few substitutions. We're getting Shanna Brown back in the game. And here's that replay that we saw Little bit of foul there, guy on the floor, and this is the key moments that you want to look out for. You know, we were saying that the Panthers are now in the bonus. That's the 5th foul from the Athenas, and 7 seconds left. Quick moves, quick games, and quick shots. There's Shayna Brown. 2 points, nearly making it, almost a buzzer beater, but 33-24, 9-point difference, halftime. This is an amazing game.
Oh,
so much
for sure.
energy.
And the pace has gotten even better as the game continues. And both teams, I think, are starting to figure out kind of just how their pace is going to be set for the last 2 quarters of the game, especially with just the momentum continuing. And the stands are filling up a little bit more as we're seeing just some people trickling in, making that energy in Hutton Sports Center a lot more energetic and a lot more excited.
Definitely, and you know, some of our key players tonight are definitely showing out. We're seeing a lot from Katie Resendez, we're seeing Shayna Brown, Layla Woods, and we're not seeing a lot from Renee Chung as well, which is a bit interesting. You know, we did list her as one of our top shooters, and I would like to see a lot of that more.
Yes.
We want to see her on the floor. You know, this is CMS's last game of the season, sadly. They won't be making it to the SCOT tournament, but overall, great initiative, and just like you can see here, folks, this is Layla Woods' first shot of the night. First 2 points on the board within the first 30 seconds or so. Layla Woods is definitely one of our key players from the Panthers tonight with almost 14 points in the first half. And you know, great chemistry overall. We have our team keeping her open, getting her in those open spots and lanes, and just quick attempts. She's a quick player, quick mind, quick mindset.
For sure. And Layla Woods is also having a great night. You can kind of just see she's enjoying herself on this court tonight, and it's really showing through how she's playing. And Tanya Guy also at CMS, she's shown her dominance in this game. You know, she wasn't necessarily listed as a key player for CMS, but she's showing that she is someone to keep a lookout on and is really showing out tonight.
Definitely. Along with that, we do have a great interview and report from Kaimana Newman down on the sideline with Layla Woods' father.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I'm here with one of our very own Layla Woods' father, Sean Woods, and I had a few questions for you. Obviously, after this first half, it's easy to see that Layla's been giving a lot of effort both up and down the court, and she's, I think, one of our top performers for this first half. So you must feel very, very proud watching her play. What is some things that you try to remind her, like game in and game out?
Yeah, so I think, remind her every game to have fun. Number one, go out there and have fun. Also be a good teammate, right? Get the ball, move the ball around, and put 110% into anything you're doing out on that court. Give it your all. You know, don't come out here untrained or out of shape or anything like that. You go in there and try to win the game.
I think that's awesome. Always a reminder of having fun is very important for sure. I noticed in the warm-ups, like the energy with the team, you know, these players obviously have a really close relationship. And with that in mind, what have you noticed like watching this team progress over the season?
Yeah, so I got to know some of the team last year and this year, and just the bonding that happened between the team with the new freshmen coming in, the new class, and how they interact. They do things together. I think last year a bunch of them went to Cabo together on spring break, and so yeah, it's fun to watch them interact and bond that way. And we just had looking for dorms and how everybody trying to figure out who they're going to live with and everything. So yeah, I think it's a close-knit team. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. I'm trying to figure out that dorm situation for myself. And with that in mind, with the team closeness, obviously this is a younger team. So how do you feel about the future of this squad?
Yeah, I think there's a ton of talent on this team. I think getting them to work together as a team, they still lack a little there, but getting to utilize all the people's talents, all the team members' talents as one unit, I think will go far. I think, we got the playoffs next week. I hope to see some of that and go far into the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited as well to see how this team does. So thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sending it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Kaimana and Mr. Woods. A trip to Cabo take me with you. But you know what? We did see a lot of initiative on tonight's court. And just a reminder, only one of these teams tonight are making it to the Sky tournament. Chapman Panthers are at the beginning of a new journey, where a sad ending for the CMS Athenas tonight as well. But going back to those standings, Chapman is in the 3rd seed. We're in the 3rd slot for the Sky Conference. And also placing 8th tonight is going to be the CMS Athenas.
Yes, and looking at that, and like Layla Wood's dad said, they're going in the playoffs next week, and so it would be nice for them to come off a win tonight against CMS, seeing as that after a 2-loss game, they'll be wanting this win just to kind of boost their confidence and, getting ready for playoff season, making sure they're ready for the harder teams to go against, and, possibly making it to that championship final would be amazing for the Chapman Panthers. But yeah, and so for CMS, they are in 8th, and this is the end of their season, so it's bittersweet, and it would be great for them to finish on a win, especially for their seniors finishing out their collegiate careers, but we're not sure if that will happen tonight, especially with just the dominance of our defense on Chapman's team.
Definitely, and we are at the end of our first chapter for tonight's story, and we're going to toss it down to a little bit of a break. Be sure to stay tuned. We got chapter 2 of tonight's matchup, CMS Athenas and the Chapman Panthers, ready for you right after this short break. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and joining us right after that short break. Here live at the Hutton Sports Center, your play-by-play commentator, Isabella Savea, alongside Grace Luttrell, our color commentator for tonight. We've got a great matchup for you folks, the CMS Athenas against the Chapman Panthers. And the score right now so far, 33-24. We're seeing a 9-point difference, but so much energy, so much initiative, and a lot of tension on the court right now. That first half was amazing. We saw a lot of initiative from our key players, Layla Woods, Shayna Brown, and Grace. What could we be looking forward to in the second half?
I think the pace is definitely going to improve with this game. I think both teams are starting to feel the pressure of wanting to pull out that win for different reasons, as, again, Chapman is going into the playoffs for SCIAC Championship. And this is the last game for CMS, but for CMS, it's also a lot of pressure because a lot of their seniors are graduating, which means they're ending their college career, which would be great to end on a high note on a win. So we're definitely seeing the pace, and we're going to see the defensive and offense teams playing against each other, making sure that defense on Chapman's team is really putting in the pressure on CMS, making sure they force those shot clocks to run out.
And just like we saw reflected from the first half of the game tonight, Layla Woods, the first shot of the night, and also another 2 points just right now from CMS. Scores tied up 2-2 for second half, 35-26. Layla Woods again with another shot attempt, not quite making it. And again, ladies and gentlemen, for your starting lineups for the second half, from CMS, we have Katie Resendez. We got number 4, Ava Gray. We're also going to have Tanya Guy. And there's a lovely, lovely shot right there from CMS as well. We just saw that shot from Kayla Ishibashi. And another 2 points on the board as well from the Panthers. Scores 37-29. A 12-point difference in the game. And you know what? Like we said, that first half was a lot of tension, a little bit of a learning objective for both teams, figuring out the momentum, who our matchups are. And there's Resendez at the top of the key, not quite making that shot, but a little bit of an off-balance situation there on the box of the key. We're going to see Aiden Sherfree fouled right there. And then right now, the ball is going to be taken out of bounds. First foul of the quarter tonight as well. We're going to see Tanya Guy. And here's a quick little recap right there. We're going to see a little bit of a holding situation between Sherfree and number 15, Kiara. Something that the Panthers, didn't really struggle with in the first half. It's a little bit of a mistake that's happening, but sometimes little mistakes can kill momentum. So that's something that the players have to look over for. There's Sherfree and Kiara back again. The matchup, shot attempt, not quite making it. And a little bit of a miss. The different calls from the refs on the floor right now. We're going to see a foul right here for number 15, Ruva Kiara. And that's going to be her 3rd personal foul for the game. Sherfree with the ball. Handing it down to Woods, not quite catching it. And here's Nakaji at the 3. A little bit short as well, recovered by Nakaji again, up to Watanabe. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. We can see the Panthers trying to establish how to play, looking for an open pass, setting those screens. Here's Watanabe. Not quite making that. Rebounded by Guy. And here's Ava Gray and Kiara. A little bit of an overpass to Resendez. Not quite getting there. But the ball is now going back in the hands of the Panthers. Substitutions on the court. Kaylee Kahala coming in. Shayna Brown as well. And there's that double trouble duo that we just love talking about. Shayna Brown and Layla Woods. I can't get enough of them. Can you?
They're definitely a powerhouse together, and they definitely show their dominance on the court when they're together.
Definitely, and those are the 2 key players from the Panthers tonight, and the 2 players that we are seeing getting those points not on the board for CMS They are taking initiative both on offense and defense, and there we go. It's a little bit of a tip on the ball, back in the hand CMS. And here we go, a nice little layup, open shot by Kate Shingler, one of the sophomores that we got to highlight in that first half of tonight's game. And also a timeout is called on the court. Now, Grace, we're seeing the points and the scoreboard going back and forth. We saw this pattern earlier in the in the first half as well. So far, 6 minutes, 4 minutes into the quarter. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think CMS has definitely kind of found their rhythm on this court, and they've definitely figured out how to put pressure on those Panthers when they're trying to put that defense pressure and making sure they run that shot clock out for the Panthers. Looking at this replay, we're seeing, great passes from each other and using that distance and getting the ball across the court in faster manners and using that pace to really speed up the game.
And Kate Shingler, we were talking about how she kind of had a little bit of a slow start in that first half. She has 2 personal fouls so far, no points on the board, except for right now, 2 points now made for her, bringing up that score for CMS, 37-31. This is the situations where high pressure, high intensity is needed from both sides. And it is a pattern, we are seeing it a lot, but this is sadly the end of CMS's journey. Chapman Panthers will be moving forward to the SCIAC tournament. So tonight's all about the game of pride, just like our sideline reporter Kaimana Newman mentioned earlier, his interview with Miley Nakaji, saying that momentum, keeping consistent, and just establishing an overall good storyline. Number 3 seed against the number 8 seed, good competition and great game. Nice pass to Sherfree, back to Kahala. And here's an attempt from Watanabe, not quite making it in. And just so you are reminded, folks, Kira Watanabe is only a freshman who's had a great, and another open lane pass to number 12 on CMS, Kate Shingler. Just coming off that timeout, we had seen that same pass. So that is something that the Panthers have to look forward to stopping. And nice little tip in the air, almost a turnover from Sherfree, but then caught by Guy, back to Shingler, and here's Kiara with another 2 points on the board, bringing the score closer than ever. First time we're seeing the score this close this half, 37-35.
And I think you can really just tell that CMS is really good at, bringing the score closer together. Even if they don't get that win at the game, they do manage to keep the score close together and pull those points together, especially with key players like Tanya Guy, who has really helped keep their points together and keep them close together.
And right there, we just saw a little bit of attempt from Layla Woods, but definitely CMS defense is putting in more initiative. Also on the sidelines, we're seeing Carol Ju making some changes to her players right now, and that was just another shot from Guy. 3 points in a row, last 1.5 minutes from CMS. And right there, Kira Watanabe still following through, but getting also a foul, taking her to the line. We're going to get a foul on number 4, Ava Gray. That's going to be her second personal foul for this afternoon's game. Substitutions are in. We're seeing Shayna Brown come in. We're seeing also number 24, Gemma Lackip. And here's that replay again on an attempted shot. Nice follow through. And also that foul, a little bit of a contact there. So ball's still going to be in the hands of the Panthers, taken out by Trinity Barreto. And 3-point shot from Watanabe, not quite making it in. There's that rebound going back into the hands of Guy. Here's Florendo on the court as well. Nice shot in the key, 2 additional points, bringing the score 37-39. This is the second time in this game that we're seeing CMS ahead of Chapman. Second lead of the game. Here's Shanna Brown at the elbow. Attempt at a 3. And that is the first 3 of tonight's game. Shanna Brown, one of our top scorers for tonight's game, now at a total of 13 points, just below Layla Woods. Here's Florendo with the ball again, matched up with Barreto, going up for a shot, not quite making it, but rebounded by one of our top rebounders, Shanna Brown. We can see that Carol Drew loves to substitute. That's been a pattern of her throughout the whole season, her whole career at Chapman. Nice attempt from Brown, not quite making it, but Carol Ju, she's trying to figure out that chemistry between her players and just figuring out those matchups. And you know, sometimes it works out, sometimes we're gonna have to alternate it a little bit, but it seems right now that it's working out, and just as you saw right now, here's that shot from Shanna Brown. First 3-point of the game. We went 3 quarters, not really seeing much. Both teams, no 3 points on the board. And coming out of that first half, we're gonna see 0 to 4 from CMS, 0 for 3 for 3 points. And now that we're taking a little bit of a timeout, Grace, 4 minutes left in third quarter. How is the first half looking so far?
I mean, it's super fast-paced. I think both of them have definitely adjusted to kind of getting each other's pace down, and I think we're seeing a lot more bigger plays kind of getting shot. I think Shanna Brown is showing her dominance on this court right now. She is really reliable in those clutch moments, especially for the Panthers, getting that lead back to the Panthers, especially after, you know, falling a little short for a few shots. I think it's going to be super interesting just to see how they pull through for the rest of the game, and getting to see how, you know, the pressure on both teams is played out throughout the rest of the game. I think the Panthers right now are feeling that pressure of wanting to stay in that winning streak before playoffs. And I think coming after 2-loss streak will be a great way to finish out the regular season, and going into conference, you want to have that confidence that you are able to beat other teams. Even if they're ranked lower, we were still seeing amazing competition from CMS, and we're definitely seeing that resilience.
Definitely, and ball is now going back to CMS right now. We're seeing a lot of movement on the court, trying to run that play out of bounds. Here's Florendo at the top. Attempt at a 3, not quite making it, but in the hands of Kira Watanabe. A little bit of a height difference there. Nice little cap from Barreto. Back up is number 1. And here we go. CMS setting up again with only 14 seconds left on the shot clock. We're gonna see a lot of movement. Here's Kiara in with a layup. That's another 2 points. A lot of energy coming from that CMS bench over there. Scores going back and forth. This is the game that we have been talking about, ladies and gentlemen. High energy, a lot of action, and just shots all around. Everyone wants to get a basket tonight. And here we go. Nice 3-point shot, not quite making it. An attempt from Amanda Kerner, and ball is going to be out of bounds. And now we're seeing Carol Ju make a few substitutions as well. We're seeing Nakaji back in the game, and also Layla Woods. For CMS, we're going to be seeing some of the same players that we've been seeing tonight. Amanda Kerner, we're going to see Grace Florendo, as well as number 21, Georgiana Dempsey, and also Kate Shingler. Here's Watanabe on the bottom, and now we're going to get called for a foul. This is going to be the 3rd foul for CMS this quarter. And now we're seeing another substitution for Nakaji. Sorry, my apologies, not Nakaji, but we're going to see that substitution for Lakip. Kaylee Kahala is going to be coming in. Is this an open shot? And yes, it is! Following through, Kaylee Kahala, first points for her substitution coming back. Here's that matchup that we've been wanting to see all night with Nakaji, and 2 points on the board for Florendo. 42-43. It's on. The game is heated. I don't know about you folks. I'm on the edge of my seat still. I'm telling you, I'm sweating up here. So much energy going on, a lot of talk. And here's Layla Woods again.
The energy in Hutton right now is super amazing, and just seeing the support that CMS has for their team and seeing the support they're giving on the bench is incredible, and it's definitely fueling CMS right now.
And that's another 2 points for Shanna Brown right there. We saw a little bit of a mix-up on the bottom of the key right there, but Kira Watanabe was able to get that assist to Shanna. 44-43, making that Shanna Brown's 13th point for the game. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Now, folks, this is crucial because going into the fourth quarter, this is going to be one of the... Wow. We're going to have a little bit of a foul right there between Miley Nakaji and also one of our substitutions. First time seeing her play in this game so far. Number 21, Georgiana Dempsey. We saw a bit of her in the first half. Right now, we're seeing her take more initiative as one of the forwards, one of the taller players on the CMS roster as well. And ball is going to be put out of bounds. Quick little turnover by number 12, Kate Shingler. Ball is back in the Panthers' hands. A minute 44 left. 44-43. Grace, what can CMS be doing to get that score back up and then taking the lead again?
I think they've been really good at being aggressive, making sure that they're putting pressure on the Panthers, but I think they need to make sure they're taking advantage of those longer shots. You know, that's really how they're going to be able to pull off a win here and pull ahead of the Panthers.
And a beautiful move from Layla Woods. Just like Grace was mentioning, we're going to see a lot of that pressure coming up. And Layla Woods being on the free throw line again. Talk a little bit about her free throw percentage.
Yeah.
Why
Layla
should
Woods,
she not be there?
Woods has been pretty consistent. We've seen her shoot a lot of free throws in a row. We've been able to see that she stays consistent with the ball, and she's able to put that pressure of having that free throw opportunity, which is crucial in moments like this when the score is so close together. It is really about taking that lead and making sure you secure a good lead against your opponent.
Definitely. And Layla Woods is now 75% for free throws this game this afternoon. And you know what? She's one of those players, like we mentioned, CMS has been getting into a little bit of foul trouble, getting Chapman into the bonus. So keeping Woods off the line as one of their top free throw shooters is crucial, especially with a minute 15 left in the quarter. Tension is high. Any little mistake is crucial to both teams. We're seeing some quick and long passes from the Athenas right now. A little bit of a matchup on the bottom between Brown and Shingler. And less than a minute left, we're going to see a backcourt violation right there. Ball is now going to go back to the Panthers. And this is the type of situation that we've been seeing from both of these teams. Both teams did take a loss at their last and previous game. CMS falling short by just 2 points against Cal Lutheran because of a last-minute possession. These are the moments that are crucial to the teams. Chapman also with the same pattern in their last game as well. So we'll see how the end of the quarter of this goes as well as the end of the game. .45 seconds left on the clock. Shannon Brown up at the top. And a nice open lane for Kahala. Nearly missing it. Looks like she may have been pushed off balance. The ball is coming back to CMS right now. We're also seeing number 24 from the Athenas, Naima Joseph. Someone we haven't really been seeing play this game so far. First appearance and 20 seconds left. 13 on the shot clock for the Athenas. How is this game going to go so far? How is the quarter going to end? And the ball is back in the hands of the Panthers. Here's Kahala, 10 seconds left. Watanabe at the top. And here's Woods. Kahala with a shot attempt, not quite making it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our third quarter. 45-43, 2 fouls, 4 fouls for the CMS Athenas. Grace, let's talk a little bit about the third quarter. What did you see? What did you experience?
I mean, we definitely felt the fast pace in Hutton. We felt the energy kind of increase, especially on CMS's side. I think they're starting to feel that pressure, feel the heat of the game coming to an end. And this last quarter is going to be crucial for them, either to secure that win that we're seeing them take over the court, kind of dominate their presence here in Hutton, especially with their defense. They're really putting a lot of pressure on the Panthers.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short little break, and then we'll come back for more information and more of intensity from this court tonight. Fourth quarter, almost the ending to our last chapter of tonight's story. Back again, my name is Isabel Sevilla, your play-by-play commentator, alongside Grace Luttrell, your color for tonight's matchup. Claremont Mudscripts, Lady Athenas versus Chapman Panthers, live with CSBN We're coming into the fourth quarter with so much energy, intensity, and pressure. Tonight is going to be the Athena's last game for their season, but the beginning of a new journey into the Sky tournament for the Panthers. Score is fairly close, going back and forth, but we're kind of getting more of a momentum now. Grace, can you talk a little bit about what happened in that third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Athenas kind of pulling up in their defensive line and making sure that they're putting pressure on.
And that's a three-point shot. First one for the Athenas by Florendo, number 34. And that's 1-1 for the Panthers. We didn't see any three-point shots in that first half. And that's another 2 points. Layup for Kaylee Kahala, 21 of the Panthers, putting the score at 47-46, a 1-point difference. Now, folks, the people that you're seeing on the court right now are some of the crucial players in tonight's game. We're also seeing a lot of shot attempts as well. Here's Kiara for an attempt. No call on the foul drawn right there. It looks like the CMS really wanted that to be called, but was there really any hustling, pushing going on? Who knows? But either way, CMS is still going to stay with that ball. We're seeing center number 24, Naima Joseph, getting double-teamed by Shannon Brown and Layla Woods right there. She's one of the tallest players on their team, standing at 6 foot flat. Insane. I wish I was that tall. But, you know, height is definitely something that the Athenas lacked compared to the Panthers. So right now, making sure that that ball stays out of the hands of Joseph is crucial. And then we're also going to see the ball out of bounds one more time, going down to the Panthers right now. And we're going to see a substitution. Aiden Sherfrey coming in for Shannon Brown. 8 minutes left in the game, my apologies. And a little bit of pressure between Ishibashi and Watanabe. Some of the top 2 guards for these Panthers, a freshman and also a senior, the freshman-senior duo. We're gonna have a call on the floor. We're gonna have a push on the floor. And that's going to be on number 24, Naima Joseph, that center that we were just talking about. 6 foot flat, pushing Aiden Sherfrey. So now the Panthers are going to be taking the ball inbounds. Here's Brown with the ball on the wing. Here's Ishibashi and Watanabe matched up on top with a pass to Brown. Watanabe with a shot attempt, not quite making it, but rebounded by Dempsey. Missed attempt. And then here we go. Foul called on the floor again. And Georgiana Dempsey again with her 4th foul of the game tonight. A little bit of foul trouble going on. She's one of those players that you do not want to get out of the game. She's applying pressure, and right here, folks, you can see where that attempt was and where that foul was drawn. We're seeing a little bit of a hit right there and sweeping her arm over. Now that's something that can get called pretty easily, which is why they tell you to go underneath, but in this case, high intensity, high pressure, and high stakes. They want to end their season on a win. Here's Watanabe and Florendo at the top. And now we're going to get a call as well. Offensive foul for number 11, Kira Watanabe. That's going to be her 2nd foul for tonight's game. Here's that replay. We can see that she moved a little bit. And now she's going to be subbed out for Trinity Barreto. Shot attempt from Florendo, not quite making it. And here's a 3 attempt, and it is in by number 23, from the Chapman Panthers, Miley Nakaji, one of those guards that we've been talking about this whole night with a great storyline this season. We're seeing a lot of initiative from her. And, you know, we didn't really feature her as one of our key players, but she is one of those key leaders of the team, which is far more important in my opinion. She is what sets the tone, high intensity and great defensive player. And there is Kiara with another shot attempt as well. Score is now 50-46, and here we're going to see that shot from Nakaji. Second three for the Panthers, and third three overall for tonight, this afternoon's game. Now Grace, scores 50-46. We got 6 minutes left. What are we feeling? How is this story going to end?
I'm definitely feeling the pressure. I feel like I'm on that court right now. You know, this game is definitely high pressure. We're seeing CMS come back again and again after they lose the lead, but you know, Chapman is subbing in a lot of players. That's something that Carol Drew likes to do a lot, and I think they're really playing out this game and making sure that they're wearing down CMS.
And that's another 2 points on the board by Kahala, bringing up the Panthers to a 6-point lead. And you know, one thing about Carol Drew, she wants fresh legs on that court. That's why she's constantly rotating her players. And that's why we're about to see Layla Woods and Kira Watanabe back on this court. As for CMS, we're going to see a little bit of a flux with Ishibashi coming in. Definite matchup between her and Watanabe. And an attempted three from Florendo just now. Brought back up by Guy, not quite making it. And then number 4 going in with another 2 points. That's going to be Ava Gray, someone we've also been talking about tonight. A couple of shots up, and you know, she's been executing fairly well, bringing up the score now to 48-52. Missed attempt from Brown. And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to CSBN's broadcast. This is senior night here at Chapman University's Hutton Sports Center. So we are going to be saying farewell to a few people, including our managers, Devin Higashigawa and
Drago Yukic.
That's right. And now we're just going to see another foul on the floor as well. Here's a little bit of a recap on that foul. And number 12, Shanna Brown for the Panthers. She got her hand up in that space where Kiara was going. So that's what would have made that foul get drawn, that contact. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. You know, the last 5 minutes of the game, this is where possession becomes important. I know we still have 5 minutes left, but it's a smart decision to maybe not foul so early into the end of the quarter. And that is another point for Kiara and CMS, bringing the score to a 3-point difference, 52-49. And scores now on a 2-point one-shot difference. And Kiara actually has a 76% free throw percentage. One of those players you also want to take off the line. And a beautiful shot by Woods, bringing the score up to another 4-point difference. Woods is someone that has that beautiful and signature move that Grace had mentioned earlier on. Little bit of a shove, push off the elbow, and a shot straight up in that mid-range. That's called her sweet spot initially. Timeout's going to be called on the floor, and Grace, 4 minutes, 45 seconds left, about there. We got a 4-point difference, and knowing the storyline of how both of these teams had missed possessions in their last games, ending them to fall a little bit short between competitors. Tell us a little bit about what we think is going to happen in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think both teams are having a lot of fun. You can tell on the court that they're all having fun. I've seen Brown kind of smile a little bit on the court, you know, mid-play, and I think that's really showing the energy on the court today, and just how much both teams just really want to have a good game. You know, whether lose or win, this game has been an amazing game to watch, and I think CMS does a really good job of keeping it tight and close. I think they definitely have shown in previous games too that they're able to keep the points pretty close together, so I would expect them to keep this score close together as well, making sure that they're really profiting off those free throws that they get, especially in the last few minutes.
Definitely. And as we were saying earlier, is senior night. And if you can notice in the stands, it is filling up. I was getting a little worried. It was a little empty in here before the game started, but here's everyone showing up for their players, for the teams tonight, and there's just so much energy coming from the sidelines, from the courts, and even the hallways. I don't know if you can hear them, but I definitely can. We can hear that energy, that excitement. And with this last 4 minutes and 47 seconds of the game, we're going to see more intensity coming out, both of these being a game that's going to bring the Panthers into the SCIAC tournament, and then also a story ending for the Athenas as well. Here's Kahala, not quite making that shot, but rebounded by Ishigashi. And here's a shot attempt by a guy, not quite making it, but back into the hands of Kiara. And a shot attempt by number 1, Amanda Kerner. Not quite making it. 4 minutes left, and the ball is being inbounded, staying on the side of the Athenas. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little bit of a shot attempt with the block right there. Here's Guy taking it around, getting Ishigashi ready for that shot. Not quite making it. Rebounded again by number 12, Shingler. Here's Ishigashi. Shingler again. And here's Layla Woods applying that pressure that we've been talking about. And we're gonna have a timeout called on the floor for CMS. Only 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in this half so far. We're coming back from that timeout with a lot of intensity, Grace. Last 3 minutes, who do we think, what do we think the outcome's gonna be like?
I mean, it's a pretty close game, and we've seen CMS come back before and kind of take the lead for a second, so I wouldn't put them out for now. I think they can have a strong comeback. I think their defense is still really aggressive, and that's gonna be a key, especially in those last few minutes, to make sure that they're kind of running the clock on Chapman and making sure that they don't get those shots, because at the end of the day, that is what is going to make or break this game, whether or not they make it to the free throws and getting those fouls called.
Now we have the ball back into the hands of the Athenas with 16 seconds left on that shot clock. A near good look down in that passing lane for Kiara, not quite making it with Shanna Brown making way, and that's what we've been talking about. Keeping that hand in the passing lane is something that's going to be super important with those long passes that we've been seeing all night. And then we got debate about a foul going on between Coach Chanel for the CMS team and one of our refs for tonight's and this afternoon's game. Questionable if that was a foul on Shannon Brown. We did see a bit of contact there, but it wasn't really called with 54-50 as a score for this game. We're gonna see the Athenas applying more pressure after that. And here's Ishigashi up, not quite making it, but rebounded by Shingler. And there we go, is that foul that Coach Chanel was looking for. We're gonna get a foul, number 25, Layla Woods. We're not gonna see any free throws right now. We're gonna see the ball going onto the line right now. And a substitution for Shannon Brown and Aiden Sherfree. 3 minutes left. It's an interesting choice by Carol Drew. Quick pace happening on the court right now from CMS. And then matchup between Sherfree. And great help from Woods. And then we're gonna have a little bit of a questionable call right there on the floor. Ball's gonna be taken out again. Now Grace, looking at this play right here, we're seeing Sherfree and Layla Woods help out on that defense right there. Questionable call in my opinion, but what are your thoughts?
I definitely think it's a little questionable. I think at the end of the game, we're seeing a lot more aggression from both teams, trying to stop each other from making those shots. So, you know, getting a little more high energy, it's a little harder to tell those calls. And I know the refs are just trying to play it safe, but it definitely was a little bit questionable.
And there we go, was a steal by Layla Woods. Kiara going up for that shot, but ball getting bounced off the foot of Woods, making the possession go back into the Athenas. 2 minutes, 46 seconds left, a 4-point difference. This is crucial, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what's gonna happen, and there we go. We're gonna see that steal between Kiara and Woods. A little bit of a dropping situation for Kiara, ball handling wise, but a great recovery from Woods. We're seeing a lot of defensive intensity on the court, and that is a 3 attempt from Kiara. And there we go, a jump ball, exactly what was needed in this game. And the ball is going to be staying in the hands of the Panthers right now. Something that they need in this moment. Any shot, any play that is crucial, getting them ahead with a 4-point difference. Anything can happen in the last 2.5 minutes. Now we're seeing the pace quicken up a little bit. And here's that matchup, Kiara Watanabe, not with Ishigashi this time, but instead with Guy. We see Nakaji and Ishigashi over there on the wing. And we're seeing quick passes, quick rotations, and a lot of pressure down in the forward positions between Sherfree and Kiara. An attempt from Kahala, not quite making it. And then we're gonna have another foul called on the floor. That's gonna be called on number 14, Aiden Sherfree for the Panthers. And that's gonna be taking the CMS Athenas to the line for some shot attempts at the free throws. And here's a replay of that. There's that attempt, and then we're gonna see Sherfree with some contact right there, right in the chest area, one of the spots that is easily called for refs. And we have 1 shot attempt made for Kiara. Scores now 51-54. Now we have less than 2 minutes left in the game, and we have CMS in the bonus, something we haven't seen yet in a while, with the Panthers seeming to have been in the bonus within the past few games. And now we're seeing Shannon Brown back in the mix. Carol Drew just wanted her to take a break, freshen up a little bit, sit back, chillax, drink some water. But look, it's game time, 2 minutes left. She wants her to bring her A game right now. She wants that score to go up. A 2-point difference, that's 1 basket. And like I said, anything can happen in 2 minutes. Nice pass from Watanabe. An attempted shot from Woods, rebounded by Springler. And now, Grace, the game is going back and forth. What are the possibilities of us going into overtime?
You know, I wouldn't put it out of the question. I think it's definitely a possibility right now, but I think right now both teams are feeling a little comfortable with the close matchup of this game and the points that are matched up right now. So, you know, I wouldn't put it out of the question, but I think our defense is doing a really good job of keeping the ball at bay, and I think both teams are doing a really good job of just making sure either team doesn't score right now.
And that right there was a shot attempt from Kira Watanabe. And then we're also going to see an offensive foul called right now. My apologies, we're going to get an out of bounds call. Ball is now going to go back into the hands of the Athenas. And here's a little bit of a replay on that. Nice little cap from Kiara. Height difference makes it easier to get a little bit of a hit on that shot. But 1 minute, 1:01 left. This is crazy. 2-point difference. Is overtime happening? We don't know. But coming back into the game, Katie Resendez. We didn't see her at all this quarter, and this is dangerous. We got that matchup with Layla Woods. Shannon Brown is now out of the game. Aiden Sherfree back in, so. Oh, and it looks like I jinxed myself because Shannon Brown is coming back into the game, ladies and gentlemen. That pressure from Katie Resendez is definitely getting some trouble on the court. 51 seconds left, 2-point difference. I can't explain to you how crucial this is with the history of these both teams ending a little bit short because of ball possession within the last few minutes of their games. And now we're gonna see a foul getting called, and you can see that the CMS Athenas are definitely firing right now. Firing is a way that you're able to get the ball position back into your hands, putting someone onto the line, or getting that ball back into the other's possession. And now we're seeing Aiden Sherfree back in the game, in, out, in, out. A little bit questionable, but now we're going to see a little bit of an inbound play called line. ball is now going to go out of bounds, but stay in the hands of the Panthers, tipped off by Kiara. 46 seconds, Grace. What's going on? What's in your little mind?
I'm feeling the pressure. My heart's racing. This game can go either way. I mean, we could go to overtime with 39 seconds and counting down. But I think right now the goal is for both teams just to make sure that the team doesn't score. You just want to keep the ball moving, keep it on the court, keep it away from the basket at this point.
Definitely, and with only 10 seconds left on the shot clock, a 15-second difference on the scoreboard. Wow, we're going to have out of bounds call right now, and the ball is going to stay on the Panthers side. 22 seconds, 6 seconds left on that shot clock. High intensity to make a play, get a shot up. Now, you don't want that ball. If you're in the Panthers spot, you don't want that ball to go into the hands of CMS. And here we go, Sherfy with an attempt. Shot clock is called. And ball is now going to go back to CMS. And we're also going to get a timeout on the floor as well. Now, Grace, 15 seconds, 2-point difference, and CMS is in the bonus. I'm stressing out, I'm sweating. I don't know about y'all, but not only is the pressure on, it's also senior night. You're feeling a little bit of love, but also these teams, they want to win. Both teams want to win. And here we go is that call that we just saw. Aiden Sherfree with that attempt. And then you see a little bit of a miscommunication between Brown and Sherfree. Grace, 15 seconds left. Let's talk about it.
I mean, we're definitely seeing both teams putting it all out on the line, especially CMS. I think they're really feeling the last final game pressure and really just wanting to go out with a bang, whether that is going into overtime or not. They could pull out a really good last 15 seconds that could put us into overtime, which would be a super fun game to finish out on. But I think the Panthers are looking at, making sure the defense is on and making sure that ball just stays away from the basket at the last 15 seconds. That's all they really need to do at this point. You don't need to go for any big moves. You just want to keep that ball away from CMS.
Definitely, and just a reminder, we are doing a doubleheader today, ladies and gentlemen. So right after this beautiful women's senior night, we're gonna have the men's game, and I can tell you that's a lot of competition on the floor. They are definitely bringing the heat. They got a lot of graduating seniors, and great competition from CMS and from the Panthers as well. Right now, we're gonna take it back to the court where ball is about to be inbounded on CMS's side. 15 seconds left on the clock. Pressure is on. If a shot is in, we're going into overtime. Here's Florendo and Watanabe with an attempt. And that is 2 points on the board. 9 seconds left. We're going to see another timeout called on the floor. And wow, 54-54, 9 seconds left. This is crazy. Here we go. We're going to see that shot, that layup made by Florendo. We're going to see a little bit of a right-hand action over there on the left side, but wow, 9 seconds. Possibility of us going into overtime is pretty high. But in this case, if you are the Chapman Panthers, what are you doing? Because your possession is coming up.
I mean, you're just going to want to make that big shot. You're going to have to take it. You're going to take the risk. Chapman and CMS are both known to pull out big at the last moments in this game, and especially in any other game, too. We've seen it happen before. We've seen close calls being made, and we've seen the score get really close together, but both teams are known for pulling out the big stops at the end and really solidifying their win against the other team. So I think we're going to see Terrell Drew really bringing out all the big players for this last few seconds of the game, and possibly for overtime too. I think both teams are just going to have to really put in the big stops.
Definitely, and with 9 seconds left in the game, are the Athenas going to make a foul attempt to get someone on the line and the ball back into possession? This is what we've been talking about. This is a repetitive storyline. And right now, we're seeing it live and in action. And I think that's pretty crazy. I don't know about you guys. But 9 seconds left, 54-54 tied game. Ball is in the hands of the Panthers. Let's see how this turns out. Here's Layla Woods coming up and Shanna Brown. 7 seconds left. An attempted three. Ball is in the hands of CMS, and now we're going to get another timeout on the floor. 3 seconds left. It's likely we're going into overtime. And wow, I was not expecting this tonight.
I was not expecting this either. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't want to come in with expectations, but I knew that both teams were going to put it all out on this court tonight. And so seeing this game go into overtime makes sense for both teams, seeing as they both have something on the line tonight.
Now, Grace, let's talk about the possibility of CMS making a play within the last 3 seconds. Are we going to be seeing a lot of organization, or are we going to see a little bit of more chaos trying to find a wide and open lane?
I'm thinking we're going to see some more organization. I think at this point you want to go into overtime. You want to have that extra time to make those big shots. 3 seconds is not that long, so I think right now both teams are just going to be focusing on keeping the ball in motion. Maybe Chapman can get a little score in, but I think for right now we're just going to see the ball move on the court, and that buzzer's going to beep, and we're going to go to overtime.
Definitely, and a reminder, this is going to be the Athena's ball in this possession for the last 3 seconds. Let's see how this rolls out. We got a great lineup right now. A lot of high-intense players. Here's Guy with an attempted shot, and that is game. 54-54. We are going to be going into the overtime, and wow, my heart is racing. My heart is beating. I can feel the pressure, and like we were saying, this is the last game for the CMS Athenas, and also the beginning of a new journey for the Chapman Panthers. Now, Grace, with the 54-54 overtime, talk a little bit about what we should be expecting in this.
I mean, overtime is going to be super aggressive. Both teams are going to be looking to score, getting that score ahead, and making sure that they solidify that score to make sure that it's tighter. It's not as tight and close right now, but we're going to see the teams go at a faster pace. It has been a fast-paced game so far, but it's going to go even faster if you even know if that's possible. I think Carol Drew is going to really put in the pressure and put in all of the big players, especially for this overtime. They want to have that win. They want to have the confidence going into SkyX. They want to make sure that they have that lead and they have that confidence.
Definitely, and right here we can see that last shot attempt of the quarter where Guy tried to make that layup really quickly. But going into overtime, we got 5 minutes on the clock. Starting lineup for this is going to be Kira Watanabe, Trinity Barreto, Layla Woods, Aiden Sherfree, and Kaylee Kahala. From the CMS side, we're going to see Kiara back in the game, Guy, Florendo, and then Katie Resendez, one of our key players, and someone that Coach Chanel has been leaving on the sidelines for a little bit. I had a feeling that she might have known we might be going into overtime, so getting those fresh legs going is what is going to be helping us. And this time, for tip-off, we're seeing that matchup between Woods and Kiara, two of our most competitive and hardworking players on the floor. Ball is going to start off in the hands of CMS, tipped off into the hands of Ishigashi. Here's Barreto. Barreto's one of those players that you got to watch out on defense. Very quick movement, and that is 2 points on the board for the Athenas. Florendo, 54-56. And just a reminder that the CMS Athenas are still in the bonus right now. So that's one thing that the Panthers have to look out for, fouls. An attempt and tipped off by Resendez. Here's the ball back into the hands of Florendo. We're seeing a lot of quick pace going on. You can tell the pressure is on. A lot of communication is coming from the sidelines. We're seeing a lot of cheering. An attempt at a three, and it is in! Florendo's second shot in the overtime, bringing the score 54-59. Where was this? This came out of nowhere. That's how I feel. Just a quick little scream on the inside.
I mean, this is like watching an entirely different game. You can see that they're both pulling out the big stops, and they're wanting to make sure that they get this win. Both teams are feeling the pressure, and you can tell by just how aggressive they're playing right now.
Definitely, and right there was that three-point shot. And in the meantime, we did get another foul called on the floor, and this is what I was talking about. CMS is in the bonus. Layla Woods had just made a foul onto the CMS Athenas, putting Ishigashi on the line, someone that you don't want to be there, with a high free throw percentage as well. And you know, we're already having 5 points into this first overtime, 54-59. 3 minutes left. Another point on the board, bringing it to a 6-point difference. Now, besides getting those fouls, what is something else that the Panthers need to do in order to make sure that they can secure this win and go into the SkyAct tournament with a high head?
I mean, Chapman is definitely known for, bringing in the distance, throwing that ball across the court to really get an opening for the shots. So I think they're really going to profit off that and use that to their advantage to wear out CMS too, especially because they have a few new players on the court. So their endurance is a little more up than Chapman, who has players who have been playing since the first quarter. So I think that is something that they really need to focus on and make sure that they're wearing out these CMS players.
Definitely, in 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, may seem like a lot of time to do something, but in this case, when you're playing in the fast pace, trying to get as many points on the board as possible, any shot matters. And we just saw a three-point attempt from Shannon Brown. Here's Florendo on the three again. Not quite making it, but 3 minutes left on the clock, going back in the hands of the Panthers. High energy. We're seeing both men's teams from CMS and the Panthers showing their support right now. Overall, great competition. Spin move from Kahala, not quite making it all the way. Ball's back in the hands of Watanabe right now with an attempt at a 3. Not quite making it. Rebounded by Brown. And now that's going to be called as a travel. She did fall to the ground. We saw a little bit of movement. We're seeing how Shannon Brown might be a little bit upset about that, but we're also going to see a little bit of LeCampi coming in for a substitution. LeCap. My apologies. But ball is now going to stay in the hands of CMS. 2 minutes, 43 seconds left. We have a 6-point difference. Right now, our 3 is going to win the game, or our quick layup is going to win the game. We're going to see Kira Watanabe pressing right now. Quick pass to Florendo. That would have been an open shot in the key for Resendez, but we're going to get a little bit of a push over there. And CMS will be going to the line for another 2 shots. Layla Woods is going to be checking in right now, and again, Chapman Panthers need to beware of getting those fouls. And right there, we're going to see Florendo with that pass over there, but not quite making it. Foul's going to be called on someone else. But Ishigashi on the line, someone who's made her free throws within these past few games. Not quite making it this one, but a 7-point difference. Crucial. Panthers should not be fouling. Again, I will emphasize it. We should not be fouling. Especially players we know that will be making those free throws and bringing the score up. A little bit of a short pass right there. Ball is going to be called on the jump. And the ball is going to stay in the hands of Chapman on this one. Working in their favor. 2 minutes, 23 seconds left. This is exactly what the Panthers needed to get that possession to stay in their hands. Ball's going to be taken inbounds right now. Overhead pass to Shannon Brown. Almost getting out of bounds. Almost for a half-court violation right there. Here's Woods with that sweet spot shot. Not quite making it. Tossing it back to Watanabe. Another pass to Woods with a matchup. And 2 points on the board for the Panthers. That is Layla Woods in that sweet spot, her mid-range shot. That's what we were talking about. And again, we're seeing the energy getting a little bit lower on the court. Everyone's tired. It's a fast-paced game, but 1 minute and 50 seconds left. Crucial for everyone's career right now, their collegiate career. And that was a foul, something that the Panthers have to look out for again. The foul's going to be on 24, the Panthers. Gemma Lakin. It's going to put Guy on the line for another 2 shots. Here we can see that foul right there. A bit of a push happening. That's another point for the Athenas. And again, we didn't really see the Athenas in much of a lead throughout this whole game. So this is their 3rd lead of the game, but this time with a big score difference. We saw 2 to 3 points, but this one being 7-point difference. Are the Panthers going to be able to recover within 1.5 minutes? Who knows? Are we going to see some 3s executed today? Here's Shanna, Kahala, and 2 points again on the board. 58-63. That is a 5-point difference. And less than 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Anything and everything is crucial. A little bit of a questionable call. Was that a double dribble? Who knows? Now right there, we're gonna get called for another foul. This one's gonna be on Shanna Brown. And again, Chapman Panthers are trying to just get that ball in their hands at this point. We're seeing them firing, but Kiara on the free throw line, we've seen so much of her there. She's already with a great record for free throws, and I know that she's standing as one of the top ones for tonight. She's 4 for 4, and right now she's 5 for 5. 100% record for this game. shot in, 1 minute left. How are the Athenas ending their story, their journey? It looks like they might end it off with a great one. Here's Kira Watanabe with an attempt past the three, and we're gonna get a foul called on the floor. And it's gonna bring Kiara back to the free throw line. And that is the 5th personal foul for Shanna Brown tonight. Here's that replay. And a definite foul right there. We're seeing a little bit of movement right there going on. And you can just tell Shanna Brown's a little bit disappointed. She wanted to stay in this game. She wanted to be here. She didn't want to let her team down, but she knows that in order to get that ball back in their hands, she has to foul. This one may have been a mistake, but again, we're going to see more leadership coming from her on the sideline with the substitution as well from Aiden Sherfree. Here's Florendo adding another point to the board, 58-66. An 8-point difference. Grace, were you expecting this at all?
I was not expecting this at all. I don't think I was expecting to call an overtime game at all. This game has really had a lot of pivotal moments in it, and we're seeing that right now with all these fouls being called. You know, that's something that you want to avoid.
Definitely, and you know, Florendo was playing in the first 4 quarters of this game. We didn't really see much of Florendo showing out, but we're seeing a lot of initiative from them in this overtime period, starting off with a great and phenomenal 3-point shot, another layup, and now 4 points at the free throw line is pretty phenomenal in my opinion. With only 5 minutes, she's definitely carrying this team to a win in this afternoon's game against the Chapman Panthers. Right now, Florendo is scoring at about 43% this game, and definitely now taking the place of the top scorer overall for the CMS Athenas. You know, right behind her is going to be Ruva Kiara at 15 points, but we're also seeing more initiative from Kiara on the free throw line, getting those points racked up for her team. And again, 53 seconds left in this overtime period. Nobody was expecting this, guys. Nobody was expecting this. And a great tip from Ishigashi right there, and a layup. Not made. Whoa. Almost there. But she probably felt that stress and pressure from Kira Watanabe, something that we've been seeing matched up with her quite often this game. And here we go, the last 35 seconds of the game. Ooh, and a near miss pass that's going to put the ball in the hands of CMS, something that is going to be a disadvantage to the Panthers. We're also going to see a substitution as well for number 4 of CMS. That is going to be Ava Gray. We didn't see much of her in overtime, but she was one of the last scorers of that 4th quarter for the Athenas.
And I think at this point in the game with 33 seconds left, CMS is really just going to want to keep the ball out of Chapman's hands.
Definitely. And there we go is Watanabe applying that pressure. And now with the foul for a hit, that's going to put CMS on the line again. Number 4, Ava Gray, that we just saw come in from a substitution. Ava Gray, someone that we haven't really been talking about much this game, but has definitely put on a phenomenal show as well, you know. She's showing initiative. I believe she is one of the seniors as well. And now adding another score, it's a 10-point difference. Panthers can't really recover from that within 30 seconds, but that does not mean that their story has come to an end. They still have more time to prove themselves in the upcoming SCIAC tournament. And now we're going to see another timeout called from Carol Ju, coach for the Chapman Panthers. Grace, 30 seconds left, 10-point difference. What should we be expecting from the Panthers? Are they going to be fouling more? Are we going to see more from Florendo? What are your thoughts?
You know, I think at this point with 30 seconds left, I think Chapman's really just going to be putting it all out there. You know, they don't have much to lose at this point, so I think we're going to be seeing a lot of attempts of bigger plays and action. And I think, you know, for CMS, they're definitely going to keep Grace in. She's been doing a really great job of being able to like get those big plays in and getting CMS ahead at 58-68. A 10-point lead from CMS is something that was not expected for this game, for sure.
Definitely, and with the ball in the hands of the Panthers in this possession, 30 seconds, almost less than 30 seconds left in the game, CMS has a chance of establishing a few more plays, executing a bit more, but the Panthers, they're going to want to throw up some points just to get that gap a little bit different. There's Nakaji back in the game. A shot from Kahala, making it in. game. And that's going to be 3 points on the board, bringing it to an 8-point difference. (61-68), and now we're gonna get another foul on the floor, bringing the Athenas to the line.
So the last basket was a 3-point basket. And the last foul was on Kira Watanabe. That is her fourth personal.
And just as our director, Steven Oveda, has mentioned, Kira Watanabe is on her 4th foul for tonight's game. We already saw Shanna Brown, one of our key players for tonight, out on the sidelines, on the bench. Kira Watanabe executing as great as usual, but here is Ava Gray back on the line, 2 for 2, 70-61, CMS Athenas. A long open pass to Nakaji, straight down the line, and that is a foul on number 3, Kayla Ishibashi. And there's that replay of what we just saw as a foul. You can see Ishibashi just tailing right behind Nakaji right there. This is an advantage for the Panthers. Nakaji with a great free throw percentage. Adding another point to the board. 12 seconds left in the game. And it is intense. Nobody here was expecting to go into overtime. We thought that this was just going to be a quick game, 4 quarters, but we knew the competition was hot. We felt the pressure, we felt the intensity, and now here's Nakaji back for a 3. A little bit short, but stopping the clock at less than 5 seconds. 8-point difference. How do we think the Panthers are feeling on this court right now?
I mean, there's definitely some disappointment on the court, but knowing that you're going to SkyX has to have some confidence with that, knowing that you already have that seed already settled in and you already have that spot for yourself. I think right now they're just feeling a little defeated. You know, if we weren't expecting it, they surely weren't either. But this was an incredible game to watch and play in, and I think both teams have had a lot of fun. I think the unexpectedness of this game really made for a great environment, and really seeing just the seniors and everyone who came out to support has really helped with that, I think, as well, and keeping the energy up in Hutton, as overtime can be a little exhausting, especially for players who have been playing since the first quarter.
Definitely. We just saw on the sidelines right now Coach Carol Ju talking to her girls on the floor. And you can see that they're a little bit upset. They feel that stress and pressure. They know they are going to take a little bit of a loss this game. But on the other side of the court, we're seeing a bit of like emotion. You know, we see a little bit of sadness. We see a little bit of joy. But overall, is this how the CMS Athenas saw the end of the season going for them? No, they did want to go into SCAC tournament, but they are ending off their story with a win. These seniors tonight, senior night, are going to appreciate how this game ended. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our game. 62-70, both teams in bonus. CMS Athenas take the win. You can see the joy on their faces right there. And Grace, overall, we just went into overtime. How did you feel? What did we notice about this game?
I mean, both teams definitely showed out. They definitely put in all of their hard work from this season into this game, and you could definitely see it on the court. You saw their aggression, you saw the fast-paced nature of this game, and you saw how each player played an essential role, not just our key players that we talked about in the beginning, but every player that we saw on this court tonight. Each had an essential role to make sure that this game went where it went and kept the pace going as well.
That's right. Everyone had an essential role on this court. And just like we mentioned, some of our key players are going to be establishing more of a presence on this team. Our Chapman Panthers are a fairly young team. We don't have seniors, but for the CMS Athenas, we do have a bit of graduates as well. We know that they are ending off their season with a warm heart and a great play happening this game here at the Hutton Sports Center. And Grace, when it comes to some of our top performers for tonight, who stood out to you?
I mean, definitely on Chapman's side, Woods definitely showed out. She definitely showed her dominance on the court. You know, she was an essential player on this game, and we really got to see her just put her all on the court.
Definitely, and to talk more about what we saw down at the game today, we're going to toss it down to our sideline reporter, Kaimana Newman.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I'm here with our game MVP, Grace Florendo. Congrats on the win today. You guys, I could tell that you guys really came to play today. I could see the hustle. I think your three-point shot in the overtime definitely set the tone for your team. So my first question is, what was the mentality of your team coming to today's game?
Coming into today's game, we already knew it's our last game of the season, and so we just wanted to put it all out there and just give it everything we got. And so I think that's the mentality we came in with, and that's why we were able to punch so hard at the end there.
Yes, I could definitely see that. And for you personally, was there anything that you were specifically trying to implement into today's game?
Nothing much really, just my teammates always told me to shoot, and so I just kept shooting even when I was missing, and so I couldn't really do it without them.
Awesome. And obviously you're a senior, so this is a very emotional probably game for you. How are you feeling right now?
It just feels good to get a win. My last game ever playing. Not many people are fortunate enough to end their seasons on a win, and so I'm just glad that I was able to get this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time, and congrats on the win.
Thank
Back to you
so
guys.
much, Kaimana and Grace. You know, Grace, this was such a great game. We went into the overtime, and just like our key player, Grace Ferrendo, had mentioned, this is their last game for some of the seniors, and the start of a new storyline for them outside of the court. And phenomenal overall. What are some of your highlights from today?
I mean, we definitely saw some players that we weren't expecting to see today, and we definitely saw some people who, you know, showed out in the last few minutes of the game, which was crucial to keep that lead for CMS. And Grace was definitely one of those key players who really brought the lead with that three-pointer at the end of the fourth.
Definitely. And Grace Ferrendo, we didn't really see much from her in the beginning of the game, but once overtime hit, that dog in her came out. We saw three-point shots, we saw layups, we saw aggressiveness, great defense, and offensive initiative. Overall, something that you're looking for and a great way to end your senior run. And honestly, I wish I could see more of this. I wish I could keep commentating. But ladies and gentlemen, this does bring us to the end of our first game of the doubleheader tonight. The Claremont Mudscripts Athenas and the Chapman University Panthers. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Isabella Savea. This is Grace Luttrell. And tune in for our doubleheader where the CMS are going to play the Chapman men's team.